A Mount Juliet-based roofer already in hot water could face even more trouble soon. James Kenton was arrested last week in Nashville and charged with home improvement fraud. And now News Channel 5 Investigates uncovered new information about Kenton's past that could affect his future in Tennessee. Here's consumer investigator Jennifer Krause with more.
They never fixed it, or they never really even attempted to fix it. They didn't even attempt.
Mary Lynn Norman says she repeatedly tried to get her roofer to repair what she calls shoddy and defective work.
A beautiful, durable metal roof for the Tennessee Metal Roofing Company.
Earlier this year, she paid Tennessee Metal Roofing just under $25,000 to install a new roof.
They could not and did not know how to do the flashing around my roof, but they still went forward.
And when the company did the work, it did not have the required state home improvement license. And Norman's complaint to the state led the Tennessee Contractors Board to issue a $1,000 fine for unlicensed activity against James Kenton, who they identified as the owner of Tennessee Metal Roofing. Several weeks after finishing Norman's roof, Kenton applied for and eventually got a license, not for the company, but under his own name. But in filling out his application, we found Kenton was not completely truthful. When asked if he'd ever had a contractor's license, he answered no. When asked if he'd ever had a license denied, suspended, or revoked, another no. And did he have a record of construction complaints from any state, agency, or consumer? Again, Kenton checked no. But we found Kenton did have a license in Massachusetts through his company Carefree Roofing. And that license was revoked by state regulators after they got repeated complaints from Kenton's roofing customers. He was also banned, we found, from doing business in New Hampshire for 10 years by that state's attorney general for similar conduct. But those weren't Kenton's only lies. He also checked no when asked if he'd been convicted of a felony. Yet we found he was sentenced to a year in jail in New Hampshire after he pled guilty to felony charges related to double billing of an elderly roofing customer and threatening another. Kenton was also asked to list his job experience on his Tennessee application, and he listed 2 out-of-state roofing companies, where he maintained he only did sales work and was a subcontractor. But according to state business records in both North Carolina and Maine, Kenton was a lot more than just a subcontractor. He was president of both companies. Of course, this all comes to light after Kenton was arrested by Metro Police for home improvement fraud for taking money from another Nashville homeowner. Meanwhile, Mary Lynn Norman's roof is still leaking.
You paid them $25,000.
Yes, I did.
And now you have to go and hire another roofing company?
Yes, I have to.
Kenton signed this license application affirming that everything in it was truthful and correct. The Department of Commerce and Insurance now tells me that based on this new information, they're going to take another look at the application. And if their investigators find that he was untruthful, his license could be suspended, even revoked. Meanwhile, his attorney tells us that while Kenton may have erred in answering the question about felonies, he insists that all the other answers were truthful, because he maintains that the past problems were not Kenton's personal problems, but rather his business's. We'll have to see if the Contractors Board agrees with that. Jennifer Krause, News Channel 5 Investigates.
Thank you, Jen. Jen and the rest of our Investigates team work tirelessly to dig into claims of wrongdoing and hold the powerful accountable. If you'd like to send in a tip, email investigate@newschannel5.com.